Time to start talking about our key assessment. Not start doing it yet, but start talking about it. For your key assessment, you're going to closely observe two specific children in two different age groups, and then there will be activities based on your observations. I do not want you to start observing them yet for two reasons. One, you have not gained permission from their parents yet to be specifically observing them. And two, there are specific ways I want you to do your observations, which we haven't covered yet. So right now, there's no stress. It's just, let's pick two children. So I will just start reading this. For this course spanning project, which your key assessment is a course spanning project. It's intended to make sure that you learned everything that you were supposed to learn from this course. So you're going to select two children from two different age groups, the age groups being birth to 3 years old, 3 to 5 years old, or 5 to 8 years old. However, it can't be a 2-year-old from this group and a 3-year-old from this group because the children must be at least 2 years apart in age. So you could have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, or a infant from this group and a 3-year-old from this group, and so forth. But they do need to be at least 2 years apart in age and in two different age groups. And then eventually you're going to document 18 observations for each child over the span of 4 to 5 weeks. Okay, so you'll have 36 total observations written down, but you're not going to cram them all into 1 week. You're going to submit as we go so that they're not all from the same time, because I want you to be able to see some development and some changes, and just plain to not be rushed and writing the same things over and over. So you're going to document your observations using anecdotal records, which we'll cover when we get there. And then eventually you're going to write a report and create activities in which you scaffold learning based on what you observed. Okay. So the point is that right now what you need to do is figure out which two children you're observing. So for this instruction, or for this assignment, you're going to complete this chart right here. Hopefully it won't take forever to load. There we go. So you're going to give me a code name of the first child and their birth date and which age group they're in. And then the name, city, state, and DHS stars or other accreditation of the child care facility that child one attends. And then the name and phone number of your supervisor at this facility, or the supervisor at this facility if it's not where you work. Then you're going to do the same thing for child 2. A code name for them, what you're going to call them, so that I'm not thinking of this real child every time, or whoever, if you used this assignment in the future as part of your portfolio to showcase something you had done, you wouldn't want people to see real names. So you're going to share a birth date of this child. It has to be at least 2 years before or after this child was born. Has to be. Which age group that child is in. And then this information might all be the same because maybe they're in the same facility, and that's fine. Just write it down again. If for some reason you're observing a child somewhere else, then this information will be different. But so for this assignment, it's just these 10 things. You're going to decide which two students you're going to observe and share that information. The next assignment is because you need parents' permission to be observing them this closely. So we're going to do that. A note, you cannot use your own biological child or another child who's closely related to you. You're going to select one child from the group of children you're currently teaching or where you're conducting your field work. Maybe you're not in a classroom. That's fine. You're going to bounce back and forth between 2 classrooms. And a second child from a different age group, which can be in a different classroom or in a different childcare situation altogether. The age group options are highlighted in yellow above. We talked about those. The children must be at least 2 years apart in age. We talked about that. I've got it highlighted and I've got it again because sometimes we struggle finding those. So I want to make it very clear. When you complete your key assessment, you'll be using the appropriate early learning guidelines or Oklahoma state standards, or Oklahoma academic standards is what OAS stands for, for the age of children that you have. So it means that you'll be using 2 different sets because the early learning guidelines are broken down by infant and preschool. And then these are broken down, these are school age. So you won't, because of the different age groups, you shouldn't be using the same set of ELG or OAS to do both of these. But that gets ahead of us a little bit. So for right now, you're finding 2 different children that you can closely observe and submitting this. So I hope this helps. As always, please let me know if you have any questions.